Alright, what is up, friends? Hello out there to everybody hanging out for this awesome RETROTHON. I'm darkalexandr, happy to be back once again. We're going to be doing one of my favorite arcade ports today with Sunset Riders on the SNES. We're going to be playing this on easy. We're going to also be playing the shotgun categories, because I like representing my man Cormano, so without too much of my rambling here, we'll just kick this thing off in 3, 2, 1, go! So for those of you who aren't familiar with Sunset Riders, it's a side-scrolling arcade game. Our objective is to defeat all of the outlaws, get ourselves lots of money, and save all of the damsels. So we are going to do our best to do all of those things. Much like any good arcade platformer, we've got 2 upgrades here. One of them is going to give us the best auto fire in the world, pioneering the auto fire shotgun here in the Old West. 3 golden chickens. A few stage hazards here we have to worry about. Our first boss here does not like to keep his bulls in check. They just run the place, so we're going to do our best to avoid all of those. Most of the speed tech for this game, it's a lot of memorization, honestly, knowing where the enemies are going to be spawning and where they're going to be firing. So if we can stay on the right side of the screen for the most part, we give ourselves a lot of buffer just in case things get weird. We really want to maintain the screen scrolling at all possible times. 5 golden chickens. The run is blessed. Those are always random. There's no real rhyme or reason. I've always liked to think that if we do get the 5 golden chickens on both of them, we'll get the good RNG on the one boss that we actually have to worry about it for. But rolling right into our first boss fight here with Simon Greedwell. Shoutouts to the awesome voice acting. This is actually one of the trickier boss fights in the game. Lots of ways this can go wrong. We really want to try to maintain our upgrades here, so I'm going to play it a little bit safe, just because I missed that guy in the lower window. The next round, or the next stage that we have, does not have any upgrades in it. So, decent little fight there.
Marry me with my money.
Certainly not my best, but we managed to avoid the death. Rather lose a few seconds there and not die than to lose a whole bunch of time fighting the next boss, because I don't have any upgrades to deal with. So all 3 versions of this game, Super Nintendo, Genesis, and arcade, all play very, very differently. The arcade version is a lot faster paced. It ends up at around 15 minutes. They do have all of the same stages, but they're laid out a bit differently. The Genesis version is completely different. I have never actually played it. I've only seen other runs of it, but I think that one clocks in at about 11 minutes for the speed run, so kind of crazy. The 2 different categories for this run have been a lot more optimized in the past few months. I've currently got the world record of 1741 with the shotguns for easy mode. Robert Retro Gaming, a runner from Brazil, just did a whole bunch of work optimizing both easy and hard mode for the pistols. Did a great job with those, so I think he brought that one down for easy all the way to 1723, if I'm not mistaken. So, huge shout-outs to him. Did awesome work on that one. The hard mode run for this has actually been held by Mike Uyama for going on 9 years, I want to say. So that category still needs to get a little bit of work done to it, but that is a super, super solid run that he did from the old SDA days. So shout-outs to Mike Uyama as well. I believe him and Gus Mancini have both done runs of this for GDQ, but it hasn't been seen in quite a while, so I'm always happy to be able to bring this awesome game out to another marathon. So, at this point in the stage 2, we're just going to go ahead and shoot backwards. You'll hear a lot of things dying, but you're not actually going to see them. Fortunately, Cormano brought all the ammunition in the world. And Horseradish here has just unlimited stamina for all of this jumping. Our beautiful pink horse. So, coming up here to Hawkeye Hank Hatfield, this is one of the big spots of RNG in the game. For the most part, the run is pretty static, but this guy can just be a huge troll depending on how he's feeling on any given day. So we're going to hope for the best. Have his henchmen spawning from either side. We're going to try to take them out first and then just capitalize on whenever Hatfield wants to stand up. And this is pretty typical. Just getting his calisthenics in. No big deal. We're not trying to do anything here. No rush. No rush at all. And we took a death. So that's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. We're almost through this boss fight. Just a couple more shots there. We'll be able to get our update, or the rest of our upgrades here in the next stage. No worries, no problems. So we got a bonus stage here. As far as the speedrun is concerned, this is actually pretty worthless. We actually save time by not doing anything, but I'm going to go for the 50 just because. Never hurts to throw a little extra swag on the run. The task for this game actually does a pretty good job of making it almost musical with the way for both the single player and the two-player tasks, they really do a good job of at least making this minute of downtime entertaining. Never hurts to have a few extra points, too. I can't say for certain how many extra lives we get throughout this run, but having them a little earlier never helped in case things go completely sideways. There goes our 50. 49 out of 50 ain't bad. Alright, coming up on the Dark Horse stage here, we're going to try to get our upgrades back. A couple of slides here. We use the slides to get ourselves a little bit closer to the right side of the screen. It's also one of our key dodge moves. There's our first upgrade. We want to avoid that dynamite there. That's our main enemy for this whole stage. The explosions in this game, same with the arcade version, are just ridiculous with their hitboxes. They stay active forever. They're a lot bigger than they look like, and just a real nuisance to deal with. If you happen to run into one of those sticks of dynamite, you'll actually stop to pick it up. You won't be able to fire until you throw it away, so it leaves you pretty much helpless for about 5-6 seconds. You can see all the bullets on the screen, not a good place to be. We got this knife guy behind us trying real hard, but just barely not getting there. Shoutouts to MASH references. So we're gonna see if we get this quick kill here. Oh, and it didn't quite work out for us. We were one bullet shy. That's a shame. So that's gonna make things interesting here for this next boss fight. We're not gonna be able to do the quick kill setup. The quick kill there on Dark Horse is usually pretty consistent, but sometimes it just doesn't quite pan out. I think I slid just a little bit early. We do have a chance to get at least our double shotguns back here at the beginning of the fight, so we're going to try to grab that. Just going to take a little bit more creative movement to get through this one quickly. The Smith brothers, we've got two bosses, one on either side. We do have these signs in front of them that are going to keep them safe, so we want to try to take care of that first. Gonna get our mashing on here. We want to try to take care of the bomb guy first, since he was the one who causes us the most trouble, and then we can just kind of cheese this guy out here. He won't be able to hit us if we're hanging on the chandelier, so just for safety's sake, we'll go ahead and do the easy kill. Unfortunately, couldn't show you off the true quick kill for that boss. We only end up losing about 5 seconds overall, and most of that is sitting waiting for the upgrade to happen, so not too bad. The cabaret girls are going to give us a nice demonstration. I don't know where they get spotlights here in the Old West, but it is what it is. Alright, now we get the true mission of this game. We're off to find Richard Rose, but first we have to get his 3 henchmen out of the way first. So, onto the train, because every good game needs a train stage. Once again, we're going to try to get ourselves as far to the right side as possible. It's going to make the rest of this stage a lot easier to deal with. Watch out for the posts. We'll see a couple more of those here shortly. Very, very close. I almost jumped too early there and landed right on it. We do get invincibility frames from the upgrades, so you will see me taking advantage of that from time to time. Got another cool quick kill for El Greco here. Shoutouts to Rebel Watt. We'll see if I get this one right. Ah, not quite. Darn. Oh, and he's gonna be rude. Oh, geez. Well, this has gotten ugly. Yeah, casually, that is, I would say, probably the worst boss if you don't know the speed strats for it. There is a very safe quick kill for it, but the backup for it is rather non-existent once he jumps down to that middle car. We got another bonus stage here, so we're gonna shoot for our 50 again, see if we get there. The second one, they get a little bit more creative with their spawning. The first one, you can tell they just kind of go around the circle. Picks up the pace a little bit. Ah, we didn't quite get there. 49 again. We do get ourselves an extra life there. Could come in handy. El Greco kind of ate a few of my extra credits, so we're gonna have to try to shore this one up. Chief Wigwam stage here is probably the most difficult of the actual stages. The boss here is also no joke, but we do have a pretty cool strategy to get through that. So as long as we can get our upgrades back, we should be fine. I'm gonna back off there just a little bit, because like I said, those explosions are ridiculous. We're just gonna slow down there a little bit for safety's sake. Don't have a whole lot of lives to spare, so we're not gonna get too carried away. We do get a bonus there. We get both of our upgrades back right before the boss fight, fortunately. And on to Chief Wigwam. Yeah, the arcade version of that one is very, very different. Jump. Oh, darn, and I held down just a little bit too long. Almost got enough damage on him. With all of your upgrades, you can actually get through that fight without him ever being able to jump up to those pillars, but we still managed to get through him pretty quickly. Another unfortunate death. Yes, it's nice that her sister comes out, pleading for her brother's life, after we've already shot him several hundred times. Just a bit behind schedule. So we have another auto-scroller here. The first half of this stage, right before the Paco Loco stage. So this is actually kind of an interesting one, where most of the stages here are pretty scripted. This one, depending on where you move and what order you kill enemies in, it can actually change what kind of enemies spawn. So we're going to try to stick to a pretty strict script here. See if I can say that one again. I've always wondered what they keep in these wagons, and I can only guess it's barrels full of gunpowder and nitroglycerin. This auto-scroller segment is a little bit trickier than the one from Stage 2. The bullets move a little bit faster, and you've got a little bit of a tighter window for the positioning of them. So I'll usually tend to jump to try to pull the bullets higher, give myself a little bit more room to work with. So that went pretty well. We're going to try to get our upgrades back here again. We just want to be careful of where we end up putting our character. Oh geez. Like I said, those bombs are mighty rude. We got real lucky on that one. Just managed to trigger the end of the stage before that bomb exploded right in our face. And this one has a pretty straightforward quick kill. Hold upright and shoot. You can actually buffer the jump and attack button there at the beginning, so we puts us right in the perfect spot to kill the guy in the tree. We'll actually do the same thing here at the beginning of the next stage. Set this stick of dynamite on Paco Loco's face, no big deal. And it's into Richard Rose's headquarters. They throw a heck of a lot at you in this stage. 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually like to use the slides as a nice setup for my position, just to keep things consistent. We're gonna have to slow down a little bit here. If we stick to the right side of the screen, we can manage to get past that fire without having to worry about it. And one last climb before our final boss. Iframe abuse for the swag. One final extra life for us. And coming into the final boss fight, Richard Rose. This one's going to go in 3 phases. Hopefully 3 fast phases. Oh, and that's unfortunate. I let go of down just a little bit too early there. So I stood up right into a bullet, so we're gonna have to get creative once again with this boss fight. Took a knee to the face. And this is a very, very difficult boss fight to do without upgrades, especially with all of the henchmen here, so getting a little bit uncomfortable. Oh shoot. Alright, we're gonna have to clutch this one out. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit of space here. There are a couple of swag strats we can use for this, where we can actually set ourselves invincible, but since I have 0 extra lives to work with and I want to keep the 1 CC alive, we're just going to try to finish this guy off safely. And there he is. And that would be time.
I say.
Yes, Synthpop, he did in fact Eastwood us. The classic maneuver, that 200 IQ play. But that is Sunset Riders. We have conquered the Old West. All 8 bandits are down. 1 credit, fortunately. We managed to clutch that one out there, but not the cleanest run. But Coromano gets to ride off into the sunset. So thank you all so much for having me out for retro gaming, for the Retrothon here on RGL TV. Much appreciate you guys' support. Coming up, we've got Demolition Man with Telio, my boy, gonna be doing some awesome stuff here for us, so definitely stay tuned. There's so much good content coming up here throughout the week, and I will be back sometime on Sunday for some more hot arcade action. So until then, we'll catch you all later.